Thank you for stopping by Ballistic BBQ. On today's video, I'm going to be making you guys a Baja cheesesteak sandwich. Let's get going. So this recipe was inspired by two things that I absolutely love. First is the Baja style Mexican food that I've grown up eating. We used to go to Mexico just to have lunch, so I love that style of Mexican food. And then the next thing is the Philadelphia style cheesesteak sandwich. So basically what's happening, two cultures colliding. It's going to transform into a beautiful sandwich. And the style that I'm going to be cooking this in is basically the techniques that Tony Luke's uses in Philadelphia. I really like where he goes with his cheesesteak sandwich. So we're going to start off with cooking up some onions and some peppers. So as you can see, we're using the Blackstone Griddle today. I have these three burners on low, this one on like a medium low. Start off with a little bit of canola oil. I have some very thinly sliced onions that I basically sliced into rings and then quartered. Now right here I have basically some very, very thinly sliced jalapeno peppers and some very thinly sliced ripened, so they're red jalapeno peppers. These are literally, if you can see that, paper thin. Did these on the mandolin. And I should have been wearing gloves just now, so I need to make a mental note of that. If you're not into jalapenos, you don't want any heat, I would go with, red and green, like bell peppers, or one of the mild peppers. I wanted some of that cool kind of Baja colors. Right now we have basically the Mexican flag right here, the colors. Okay, these are looking really good. What I'm going to do now is just turn this burner completely off. Residual heat will keep it cooking gently, hopefully. We're ready to get that meat on. All right, same thing, get some canola oil down. So what I have here is some very, very thinly sliced ribeye steak. And this is typical of what a lot of the cheesesteak places in Philadelphia are going to use. So again, the temperature here is pretty darn low. In fact, what I did just now was the burner that the meat is over, I turned it off. I'm just running it basically with the low heat here, and I'm relying on that heat transfer to this side. So it's probably running right around 275 or so. So this is actually thinner steak than Tony Luke's uses, but it's what I had access to. And this is actually typical of what you're going to see, I think, a lot of those cheesesteak places in Philadelphia. So what I've done is I've actually turned off this burner that the meat is over, and I've left this burner on low. Because again, Tony Luke's, they don't want to get a sear on the steak. They want it to cook very slow, very low, stay juicy. And you notice I haven't seasoned it yet. The theory there is, again, because of how thin the steak is, if you season it too soon, it's going to draw out all that moisture that they're trying to save in there. So you can see it's cooking very gently here. Okay, now I'm going to season it with some adobo. Again, we're going kind of Mexican here. Tony Luke's, they, get all their onions and peppers blended up into the mix here. And I'm just using the tongs to try to tear the meat up into little pieces. Now we're going to hit this with the cheese, and I'm using two types. I have Oaxaca cheese, Mexican cheese, and queso fresco, another Mexican cheese. So I just wanted a little blend. And I just sliced these, pretty thin. So that was the Oaxaca going down. Here's some of that queso fresco. Two very mild cheeses from Mexico. I love the way they melt. Now here's something that Tony Luke's does that's going to raise some eyebrows with some of you guys. They melt the cheese on the flat top underneath the meat. Right now the rolls, I'm using bolillo rolls. It's a traditional Mexican bread roll they use for tortas, Mexican tortas. Very killer sandwiches. They just sort of smear it in there. There you go. The Baja Cheesesteak sandwich. Let's try this out. Cheers. This is really good. I mean, this is going to make some people angry, but it has that kind of traditional cheesesteak taste. But then there's a little bit of heat coming in from those peppers. These rolls are just so good. These bolillo rolls are just so fresh and soft. Presentation-wise, it probably would have been better if I had way more cheese in there. But honestly, that would have been way more cheese than this needs. All that, the meat is all coated in that cheese, and the flavor of this is the way I like it. I mean, it's not crazy ridiculous with the cheese. I'm still tasting the meat. Ribeye. Those onions are all cooked down and nice and sweet. Again, it's just because I hit those peppers on a mandolin. It's kind of at an angle. And all the seeds stayed basically on the stem. So there's no seeds in here. It's just a nice kind of a warming on the top of the tongue. It's good. Anyway, guys, thanks for stopping by. If you're not subscribed, please take a moment and hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell. If you enjoyed the video, big old thumbs up would be appreciated. Keep those suggestions coming in. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.